Hello there, everybody. Welcome to my match against jonts for Dominion League. First board has some stuff. It's not that crazy. It's a little annoying, possibly. It can do enchantress openings, and then maybe you draw your team out, but maybe you're attacked, maybe you're not. You could try the nomad camp. This vampire would be quite nice. I'm not sure that's worth it, but it's a little bit. Well, it's a little bit nicer against the enchantress, right? I mean, you get your shot at hitting 4. Or hitting 5, I mean. When you get there, I mean, it's still okay. You can put a couple 2s in. Do wonder about a monastery potentially. I don't actually remember how this works. Okay. Works as intended. Guess we can just see if we draw. Okay, we didn't actually draw it, but this is still quite a good monastery hand. I guess we figure out some way to buy Grand Market. Would be good. not sure exactly what that looks like. I mean, this didn't have to be hunting party. Oh yeah, it should have been a vampire. I meant to get a second vampire. Oh well. That's my bad. I need to wake up a little bit. Yeah, I even thought of it, and then I forgot. I think I want a vampire there. Anyway, Jones is pretty far ahead, but also you don't get like that far ahead here. Also, that's sort of a weird way of putting it, but it's sort of true. I mean, you can maybe later, but right now the decks aren't so exciting anyway. Johnson's gold. Like, I mean, gold is good. Guess I'm gonna. Well, how many? Not like a that essential that I draw the other card, probably. I mean, it would have been cool to draw the other. No, this is just like too much trashing in some sense. Um, I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. Or maybe you don't. Actually, I can get. We'll see if Johnson lets me play on. Like, I kind of thought I was gaining 2 cards, but I'm kind of stupid. Okay. I can buy. I can try to, and I mean, no guarantee I get there, but I can try to buy a grand market this turn. Maybe I may get hit with something. I may get hit with a nasty hex. Probably like Plague would be not too bad. The top deck stuff probably isn't too terrible. Or if jonts just like gets to alliance stuff quickly or something. While having a few hunting parties. And the two T-Mogs makes the alliance stuff probably a little better. You can change your duchies into hunting parties or GMs or whatever. And the golds even. Yeah, this isn't the worst either. Not that it's good, but I almost messed that up. I really don't know how good my chances are of hitting the 6, even if I horse this Vagrant. The hunting party won't draw the silver. Or, you know what I mean. It can draw it, but it can't do hunting party tricks to get it. So it'll get discarded anyway. I mean, what's the deck? There's still quite a few coppers. And then like the night cards, obviously. I think I'll keep it. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky. See, there you go. Just get lucky. I'm not sure GM is like that big of a deal. Like here, I'm gonna have to horse this to get to the other hunting party. And it was a bit sad to not find the vampire, though. Of course, it's like fine. Mostly fine. What did jonts actually buy? Okay, he bought another vampire. That's reasonable. But Vagrant to Wealth. I mean, this seems like a pretty unexciting T-Mog. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure jonts would have liked to do a more exciting T-Mog. But, like, it's not. Oh, yeah, I got an extra go. I was trying to count the coppers and I couldn't figure out why I had 5, but I remember I got greeted or whatever. So I think I mean I'm still in a bad spot. That's okay. I guess I'll get another vampire. I guess if I had a whole bunch of this is almost like okay, well finding the T-Mug is probably the better of those things. This is actually pretty okay, all told. I should think a little bit about money totals here. It's not crazy to want to do an alliance. It's not clear that you need to like get 9 grand markets. Oh, Jonts has a. When did Jonts get a province? Well, I don't love that. But whatever. Which would mean keeping one of the coppers now. Could get hit with envious anytime. I mean, if we think we want an alliance, then we need to keep 10 in deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another copper. Maybe this is where we stop. I guess drawing deck for me is also pretty hard, so I probably would have to buy another turn anyway. That might be true. I'm not really sure. The nice thing to have drawn here would have been the monastery. Well, maybe we want it for alliance stuff. Now Jonts will be able to alliance himself. Look at this incredible deck tracking. Okay, never mind. He's just not. Oh wait, maybe never mind. He is. Who knows? In this world, there's gotta be more coppers in hand. I think. There's not really a super good team. I guess I could GM it. Or I guess I could get another GM. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay. Well, never mind. I guess I can still potentially hit 10 if I draw perfect. Or if I draw, we'll try it. This is maybe incorrect, but I'm not even sure it was possible. But this is like pretty reasonable anyway. I mean, obviously this part sucks. The no alliance parts. I don't know, we can do it. What was I think I wasn't counting my other GM. We don't get to bat is the actual bad thing. that's the bad part. Well, also not having two team. There are pretty numerous bad parts of this, I guess. But we could trash the monastery. I don't know. That's sacrificing quite a lot of future trashing. Maybe it's fine. I'm just gonna end up drawing a bunch of terrible stuff, probably. Like over and over again. Maybe we'll get lucky. I mean, this is a pretty nice draw. Or at least a pretty okay draw. I'm not sure. If we don't get envious, then I'm getting to like either buy a vagrant or trash. And I could do the same thing plus I could have done the same thing plus a vagrant, or I could have trashed the coppers instead of the monastery. But whatever. I mean, I think it's just Jonts' deck is gonna be way more consistent than mine. But I have enough hunting parties that I could get lucky and draw through pretty much every time. Whether that's gonna be good enough against Jonts, maybe getting some better than single alliance turns, I don't know. We really need to probably pick the hunting party to play Grandma. I mean, it's not totally clear. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's really not clear. I mean, the buy is really nice if we get more than 10. It would be quite nice to get a vagrant out of this, but I don't even know what does bad omens mean. It means I have 2 coppers on top. Great. And I have to draw both of them anyway, because that's just how it works. I mean, we can also like we can also horse a hunting party. I guess we got a vampire coming down, so that makes us. I mean, it's not like the vampire game that isn't a hunting party is super nice for me, other than maybe a T-Mog. No, I didn't actually get to the vampire, so that doesn't appear to be relevant in the end, but and then I have to horse this. That's pretty bad for in-game stuff. I don't know that Jonts is gonna really miss with 2. Now Jonts is gonna steal my hunting party. I have more hunting parties down in here, I think, so there was some chance of drawing a fair bit more. Actually, these bottom 5 cards I think are quite good, and I'm gonna get like Locust or something. I mean, it's not surprising either. Like it's not surprising that it didn't draw to it, because you put in, I don't know. I don't even know if I had quite that many hunting parties, but I felt like I have to just like keep alliancing and hope I don't know. put some kind of cruddy pressure on him. And just hope to get incredibly lucky at some pivotal turn. I mean, the sad thing here, of course, is that I don't get to put a I don't get to put a T-Mog on the mat, so I don't have the same kind of in-game pressure jonts has. Also, jonts has like real draw 9 note. Yeah. I mean, even with Enchantress, the decks, well, that's really hard with Weight the Horse. I mean, technically the decks will be fat enough that jonts can have more or less a full dead. Like, there's just going to be that many green cards in the deck, but it's extremely hard. And they always have T-Mog to bail out a little bit. That's okay. I mean, jonts bottom decked their opening, so I definitely could have played the more standard opening and maybe come out ahead versus just taking the Nomad camp off the start. I'm not sure how it all works out on average, given that it was player 2. But yeah, like this makes sense. John's even there just taking putting a nomad camp on top as a sort of expedition. I guess I just don't even have hunting parties anymore. Which is fine. I mean, that's not surprising. Yeah, I don't even think the duchies make any sense here, but I guess we'll do them. I don't think I have enough, say, actions in the deck to get to double if jonts can only take a single or something. He doesn't have to play around T-Mog into whatever. I don't really have actions. Otherwise, you could kind of have some kind of stupid outside shot of getting 16. I mean, I think you could stack my deck into a $16 hand, but it wouldn't be it wouldn't really be something you draw. I mean, there are a couple of golds in there, so I don't even know. I'm not sure you can even stack it into it. I mean, there's still Nomad Camp and 2 hunting parties, maybe. I mean, that probably gives you enough hand size increase that you could do it with a stacked deck, but two gold, play the 2 GMs. There you're already at 10. Couple silvers. Yeah, I mean, probably possible. I mean, surely it's possible with stacking, but and then it's not like I can play out to it. And okay, now the GM's not even in the deck. It would have been a little bit interesting if I had, I guess, just played the, well, then they would have duchy options. Like, they don't really have to take the duchy here, but they can. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I guess we play to, I mean, we're not gonna double. We can get. What would be wild is if there was a. I guess there's technically a pile out. The pile out isn't even that expensive. It's only 16. Okay, 16 is just as bad as. Yeah, there is a pile out, but it costs $16, so it's whatever. If only I didn't have 10 million awful cards in the deck. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does this only have 9 still? There went the gold into. So this is like the worst hunting party reveal of all time. It's actually sort of feeling like it wasn't that impossible to have drawn. And I just have to buy a province, right? There's not. I mean, I'm sure it loses immediately, but. Maybe I should have played the hunting party as a horse. I would have straight up died if I had if I had drawn the double there. I don't think jonts even had to expose the double. I don't know. I'd have to go back and do a lot of counting. But it seems unlikely that jonts even needed to. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. There may have been problems where he like had to, but it seems a little bit unlikely that he like had to present with that out. I mean, there's still a little bit of. I mean, there's a vagrant. Maybe that was my only other action. I'm not sure. I mean, the GM got tossed. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not like jonts can score 0 there. Maybe he can. And wait till he has T-Mog in hand with a province to do 3. That's a possibility. That's the main thing that I would think of as like an out that jonts could wait for. So we're just like super game limited here. Just always a little bit annoying. Probably. This is a pretty obnoxious board. I mean, you can get some peddlers, you can do legionary, probably is reasonable. I guess you could try count Silk Road. I don't think that's reasonable. I mean, you could, I guess you could try count Silk Road Ball. That would be kind of the more exciting thing to do here, but I'm not sure it's actually any good. They can probably do provinces fine. And if you don't have legionary yourself, then it opens them up to being able to do like dungeon stuff, which is pretty okay. I mean, how many? I don't know. It feels like it. mean, obviously you have green cards to discard, but still you sometimes will be like tossing coppers, and then how do you hit your 5? I'm not sure. This is pretty bad. I don't really like the dungeon opening all that much. I guess it's about as good as a... Let's see, so I maybe should have taken a silver there. I guess here we're gonna be pretty close to... I don't find the... Which is okay. I guess there's there may be a little bit of appeal to taking temple somewhere along the line. Could have tried for a ball there. It's actually a little bit unfortunate that we don't find the lackeys. Yeah, Jonts takes the points, which I think is probably okay. I guess the question for me something like how when do we want to try to get the legionary versus the peddlers? Well, we should think, because we can always trash the lackeys later. I would like to hit 5 this time. Guess I'm pretty... Can I hit 6? I mean, it would be nice to trash something. Like, I don't have to play the Legionary. It's because I don't have the minus coin token this time, so I could trash a card. Maybe two. In the end, I'm really not too bad on the points because I've played the temple more. I guess there's a world where jonts takes the temple points again. I mean, my hope is again, or not again, I don't think I've even said this yet, but my hope would be just to win the, I guess, the province split by a big amount. Maybe I don't need the peddlers for that, but I could have thought about it getting a dungeon versus the two peddlers. I would have certainly balled for the temple points if jonts hadn't, but guess I could have also not played the I guess the dungeon is still worth playing here. It's a bit odd, right? Because leaving good stuff on top isn't necessarily that great here. I don't think jonts is guaranteed to even do the attack. So he did. Hopefully he doesn't have the silver. That would suck. Actually, that would super suck if he like discarded down a silver gold or one of these and then drew the silver. I would probably cry. Okay, he didn't. Hopefully, yeah, this is about as good as we can hope for here. Do you think I agree? We just need, I mean, okay, so the options is other gold or ball for lackeys, I guess. So those vultures are gonna get eaten up pretty quickly. That's a bit, I mean, it's nice to not get attacked, of course, but it's pretty sad that he hit the, gonna play the dungeon here. It's better to have the shuffle trigger. Wait, that doesn't allow that. Now this does. Anyway, not totally clear to me, but yes, he didn't find the legionary or the other other gold, so they will be able to attack here. I don't know if like balling for Silk Roads will make sense. Takes another. Okay, this is cool. You just drew right into the. I mean, he's still at 88, so I shouldn't complain. I'm not gonna attack for a while, or maybe never again. I mean, I guess unless I just have the. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not near a shuffle, so the. Ball for lackeys. I guess my option there would have been. Yeah, this is just pretty brutal. I mean, I can also ball for lackeys. It's just not doing as much for me as it is for jonts just because of the shuffle. Just because I'm pretty far from the shuffle. But it's pretty reasonable get still. What's gonna be killer is if jonts gets to the. Okay. This was alright-ish. I mean, this is as good as I could hope for. Because now I'm at the end of the shuffle dungeon lackeys. I mean, I guess I offer tie. I mean, I don't have to. I can take the temple points. I'm not attacking jonts, so if I do this, I'm pretty much just saying tie me. So I don't think I don't think that I can do that. Because I think I can still win this. Now, I mean, it wasn't like guaranteed jonts gets to the temple and has the money or whatever, but it was pretty possible. Okay. I don't know what jonts does here and just takes a duchy. I mean, duchy is not enough. I can still take the province in that case. Okay, he's just going for it, which is fine, but it's pretty unlikely to work out for him. I mean, he's just in a tough spot at that point. I almost offered tie. I almost didn't check everything, which would have been pretty bad. Okay, so we have quite some stuff here. I mean, in the end, I guess getting the paddock stuff is pretty important. Or having paddocks. I mean, you can't really empty provinces fast enough to beat the VP stuff. Probably. I mean, I guess you can forge them. There's just endless VP here, so if you can't end the game, you can't win. So you'd have to be able to empty provinces. I mean, forge does help with that quite a bit, and it's not like anything spins up very quick because just there's no good low cost stuff. The low cost stuff is all really bad. It's funny. It's like you've got like, and they're even reasonably good fours like Villa and Farming Village and Armory and whatever. Of course, these are like reasonably good cards, but without a smithy, the villages are just bad, and the Armory is gaining cards that aren't that helpful. Well, I do hit 7, so that's cool. I think I'll do the forge since I do have the 7 over account. I kind of expect. Okay, jonts just takes a count or a whatever. This is gonna be a demand. I think. I mean, I can miss the forge still, which would be sad, but I think it's worth trying to have a little bit bigger hand here. I think I'm gonna take a paddock actually and just wait on the estate transformation. I'm not clear though. Kind of like it though. What would have been really great is if the farming village had skipped the estate. That would have been a dream. But I think I like this. This is all pretty okay. I guess the estates might run. Now I have this, well, it can go into another paddock probably. So, depending on how many of these horses John sees in with his forge, may get back ahead of me. But otherwise I am a little thinner here. Well, a lot thinner. I'm the only one who's trashed anything. This isn't totally clear to me because it could be another demand. That's probably a little better. So we can again do silver estate in the paddock if we draw. We do kind of need the farming villages for a little bit. Not a lot of horses, but also doesn't find the forge, so may get a pretty big forge out of this. How do we want to do this? Probably just better to play the paddock. Oh, I have 2 estates? Wow. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna get horses. I can do that. I guess we could save a copper. Would be probably good to hit 5 here. So we're not top decking horses, but you didn't even draw. Okay, this is probably GG for me. He bottom decks the horses. It was pretty rough. Now this, I mean, yeah, it's just hard. This is actually a little bit awkward. Well, no, it's okay. We can still make it work. We're gonna have 4, 1. Maybe we still don't trash to the copper yet. No, wait, that's enough because the villa. Then we buy the. Okay, yeah. That's still fine. If I've counted this correctly, which, who knows. So gonna get a big. Well, now we're back to kind of close again, probably. Other than the fact that I can do more gain and play immediately, or this particular turn. I mean, I maybe just have a half turn. We split the paddocks in the end. This is gonna be a pain. Now I have to probably outplay him, which is annoying. So we don't. The draw's somewhat limited here. Well, it's pretty limited. It's just 5 paddocks. It's not a huge amount of draw. This is depressing. What are we looking at to? Now I'm trying to think. Like the ways to score are like there are different ways to score. Some of them are pretty golden. Some of them are not so golden. I guess you could like save horses up until you're ready to do a really big conquest. Yeah, I mean, that probably does do something, but then the other things are like, man, this is weird. How many horses can you save up, and what are you like building up in the meantime? If you do just want to wait for conquests, like you probably need an armory to get some 3-pile threat. This is annoying, like I said. You probably want a way to get. The other thing is there are some ways to print golds here. And then you can bishop them, which is, of course, pretty nice. I don't know how many horses you can really save up. This is such a strange. It feels strange to me. Maybe it's not that strange, but. I just don't know the path. There's gonna be like some way that's like significantly better, I think. But I don't know what it is. Because it's totally possible that it's involves stockpiling horses for conquest. As long as you're like adding a little bit of gains and you have 3-pile threat. I think the buys are really hard. Unfortunately. So that makes me lean more towards trying to do a little bit of the bishop stuff. There's also a bit of an awkward. That probably didn't make any sense at all. Well, they're going to end up being similar either way. Well, this is weird. You also can't just throw away all your draw for the next turn. That doesn't work particularly well. How much do we have? This is... I don't know what I'm doing. $12 would have been kind of cool. This is gonna end up being so underplayed. Or at least... maybe a little bit stupidly played. Obviously, like, I totally messed up the top decking. I don't know that that's gonna matter, but... I mean, like, I still had some horses on top, so it wasn't a huge deal, but... maybe jonts will know what he wants to do, and then that'll allow me to know what to do. Oh, okay, jonts wants to draw real badly. That's good. Gains is contra. I mean, yeah, you can get buys from contraband. You do still have a bit of a draw issue. I mean, you're just limited here. It makes me think again that you want something a little more golden, because otherwise, I mean, as long as the golden thing actually scores okay-ish, then it feels pretty fine to me. But yeah, you certainly need to, like, figure out what you can and can't actually manage doing. Because there's no... I wish I had a better I still wish I had a plan. I just am still confused out of my mind. So we could get... John has 8 horses. I mean, the bishop is kind of okay. I wonder if we have enough draw to do 2 tunnels of 2 bishops and count. That seems somewhat unlikely. Basically, we get 10. We can play with 15 cards. But that's 6. And we could lose the forge. Potentially. You kind of hate to, but you could. Thanks. There are too many things. There's still too many things. I'm sure jonts hates that smiley face. I mean, I would. So I don't know why I did it, but. Alright, I'm just gonna take something. I'm sure it's frustrating for jonts because he's also drawn quite badly. So I should not smiley face him, but whatever. I guess I could just try to win on provinces. I don't know if that'll work, but it's the simplest thing, so we'll just try it. Losing the forge, of course, for that is terrible. So that makes what I did look really stupid, but so hopefully I just lose this. I cannot think. I also didn't have to bishop the forge. I mean, I could have. They're just waited on the bishop. I mean, I can rebuy the forge. That's not. Guess a name province. I mean, just triple conquest. You can't really draw that, can you? Where does the what? I don't even know how Armory Villa works. Okay, that's how I was hoping it would work. I guess you can bluff and have more horses and then... You can't draw. I shouldn't have trashed the forge, but... I mean, am I okay to just do the same thing? That scores 15 points. I mean, jonts can pile out for sure, but... Or maybe, I mean... His deck is just full of silver. I didn't actually have any intention of doing the provinces, and I did not even know that my conquest buy and that would work out to $16. That was not in any way planned. I guess Chance can forge for a province, buy a province and a villa, and then I can't contraband them, and then he can conquest. But like, I don't think that's all in hand. Assuming he's out of draw now. I mean, that still doesn't make it. And of course, I'll draw a deck, and I can't actually I don't think I can fail to draw a deck. Maybe I can. I kind of think I may not get a GG here. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, okay. This is one of those. Man. This kind of looks like Silver Sauna. To be honest, or Silver. I don't really love the rat catchers. It's not actually totally clear that it's Sauna there to me, but like Silver may just be a little nicer. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just going for trashing. We missed 5. The jonts has maybe a little nice. I don't know. He doesn't have 5, but I think of just a merchant. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter a whole lot. You have to get Sacred Grove. Guess you take Ivano first. Well, probably. I'm gonna endeavor to play quicker this game, because it was really pretty awful last game. I've not really drawn very well. Jonts probably gets full through deck here and trashes everything and buys a Sacred Grove or something like that. Presumably. I mean, you gotta take buy at some point. I guess you can take an Avanto now and know that you'll get 4 of them. Well, that's not really that good anyway. There may be some things here where I should have... Well, it worked out. And it didn't matter that much anyway. Oh my gosh. Is that how Way the Chameleon works? Holy cow. Well, I guess it didn't matter then, but I sure did not know that. It makes sense. Of course it's right, really, but I didn't, I did not anticipate it. I mean, it would have been better just to play the merchant, of course, because then I would have gotten further through here and, that's not good. Maybe drawn a Sauna. That's very weird. I mean, I understand now that that's how it works, but I wouldn't have said it up front. Johnson's just gonna crush me here. They even had a bad draw. So, but I guess it wouldn't have helped me to do the Way the Chameleon anyway. This is awful. My draws have been terrible, but I also botched that last bit of the game. It would have even been better just to trash a 1 fewer card and not make this shuffle happen. But nothing for it now. I'm not sure I'm a huge... Yeah, the mastermind is probably pretty good. Anyway, this is super over. Because we could have the thing that we could have wave chameleon were the saunas themselves. That was the... If I had been deck tracking, there was a way to play it out so that you get the money and the... You go to exact draw, you get the money from the merchants, and you... Well, what order did I draw everything in? Yeah, I had the merchants before the sauna plays, so yeah, I could have done it correctly. There was a way to do it correctly and get the trashes and get the get the 5, not trigger the shuffle. Yeah, that was just complete mess up on my part. So pretty fully deserve this loss. If we don't find the Avanto, yeah, okay. So we at least, I mean, it's not really meaningful, but Jones is gonna have more money than he can use. That's the only nice thing is that the gains to the money are not matched up for Jonts right now. So that's kind of nice. Okay, unless you roll force gifts, then then you know what can you do? I would have still lost, but if you don't roll force, then it is a little bit different. Well, I mean, not hugely different, but you know, it's better for me. The force is like if you don't roll force, I can kind of pretend. No, I'm just gonna fail to draw here, so we also give them a C scan. That's pretty good. Yeah, so it's not gonna work. Johnson would have to just completely mishandle a 3 pile. And if they start scoring some provinces, then it won't matter. Sure, I mean, it probably actually doesn't help me, but I can trash it if I don't want it. Does Johnson need the actions? Or I guess rather, does he need to get the actions from Lost Arts? Or is there more of a bit of a different angle that Johns could take? I guess we might as well play the Grove now. I have 2 Sacred Groves. What did I get? Oh. That didn't make any sense then. As buys. Guess I can put a Sacred Grove on top. This one is not well played by me. Look at that, $4. Wow. I guess I can do Province Mastermind. The jonts just setting up for the big finish, which makes sense. I guess if I had drawn my Mastermind, that would have been the play for me too. I don't know that it'll help me, but I probably should have kept the Sacred Grove in hand just as far as optionality. I mean, doesn't matter. I don't think I could quad, even if I had masterminded the Sacred Grove. So, I mean, I also didn't count it, but I'm gonna assume I couldn't quad. Of course, next turn jonts will be able to quad. Or triple at least, whatever. I mean, jonts also probably is not going to offer me quad. There's not really any reason for jonts to do that. And there aren't really duds for jonts either because he doesn't have enough stop cards yet. I don't think. Now this is now he does have enough stop cards. Yeah, I don't think I had quad. I didn't count everything, but 9 and then there's no way. Even with the chameleon stuff. Alright, well this is gonna you know. I don't think it's very helpful. I mean, maybe I don't even know. Can I draw? What do I have in here? Is it just Wisp and last card's Sauna? It could make me fail to draw the last Sacred Grove, which isn't actually that big of a deal. I don't know, this isn't necessarily... Well, I guess there's a bunch more in there. What else is in here? Well, I added it now, but... I hope jonts takes that. I hope jonts has like a Navato in hand and just takes the gold as well, just for the lulz. It's probably not even like money favorable to him because you can trade cards for money anyway. Obviously I have to play for a complete dud. jonts has 4 masterminded things coming down here. Coming down the way. I bet jonts gets there. I just bet he makes it. Probably for full, well, you get a Duchess. I was gonna say probably for full dud I actually don't need the Duchy, but you know. What if jonts had drawn the total nightmare hand? He'd never played Dominion ever again. I can't sonnet his, or he can't Way of Chameleon his merchants. Well, you can, it doesn't matter at this, once you've drawn deck, it doesn't matter, but... Oh, that was Sun's Gift? Well, you know, I'd still, I guess I should have technically taken the Sun's Gift. I didn't read it, to be fair, or to be honest. This is like gotta be like not money favorable for jonts, I don't think, but alright, we're back to even. Yeah, that shuffle I triggered, I don't know that it was making the difference at that point, but it certainly made it so that I was never winning. And I don't know that it was like, I don't know that playing it right was making it so I could win, but jonts actually had a pretty bad draw after that, right? Or maybe it was before then. Well, anyway, we've got Otter this time. Another Sacred Grove born. Well, probably not a Sacred Grove board, but you know what I mean. But it's a board that has Sacred Grove. I mean, you could probably make Priest do some stuff, but has per usual, it's sort of annoying. We both have the 3-4, so nobody's getting double 4. Johnson's going straight for the bonfire, which I'm not totally sure about. Cobbler's probably okay-ish. What do you do here? I mean, at the end of the day, you're just buying provinces, but... John's going straight for the priest. I don't love it. I don't hate it. There's something to be said for honoring here. This bonfire maybe should have just been a silk merchant. Pixie's probably worth the coffers. We might as well honor it, right? Yes, right. Didn't find the go, which is a little sad, but it's just how these things go sometimes. If I already had this silk merchant in hand, I would probably take hideout. I guess there's a bit to be said for taking hideout anyway, since I can honor. Though, of course, like, the villager is pretty good. Yeah, I like the bandit camphor jonts there. Wisps are not super good. But I do still have quite a few coppers. Guess it depends on like how many pixies I think I'm just gonna be holding in deck there. I have been quite lucky in cobbler finding. Probably beyond what you'd maybe expect from my well, I just haven't bottom decked it, and I've drawn it off moat things a couple times, which has been huge. I'll probably take a hideout here. Junts is thinner, but doesn't really have much money at the moment. I'm not. Priest is still such a terrible. I mean, you should play so many priests, and then you still have to have so many cards. I hate priest. It's probably fine here, but That maybe should have been a silk merchant trash, but a couple of nice wisps. It's not really doing much for me now. I mean, I guess unless I think there's like a price point it's hitting, but I sort of doubt that. But I would have had to count it. We are at 10, which can just be a double panic camp, potentially. I kind of wonder if I need to... I wonder if you start thinking about a way to green, like a horde. I don't know if horde's super exciting, but there are some, I mean, there's powerful draw here. So that seems okay-ish. Urskiff's real nice. Maybe jonts will empty the silk merchants here. I mean, cobbler for pixie is still fine for me. Or cobbler for... I know. I guess the nice thing is jonts didn't really had a whole lot of money. How close are we to pile outs? Not really. Not really very. I would have, of course, loved to get earths myself, but my wisp is also just drawn, which is always nice. We could probably lose a silk merchant here. Guess you can always use wisps to drop spoils. Haven't really been thinking of that. I don't think I need this. What do I have? There's still another silk merchant, right? Yeah. So the question here is whether you do, I guess, catacombs or council room. Probably catacombs. Well, I have threat on 4 or on 3 provinces after this turn. I I should, right? By double province. Doesn't Giants have like 1,000,000 silk merchants in hand? It's a bandit camp, okay. Side can double, I think. Um, hmm. I guess that doesn't really matter. Okay, so how much money do I have here? We may want to. We need to keep triple. Probably means keeping the coffers. We blew up a pixie. I think we keep the silk merchant. Well, maybe not. With otter, maybe just getting the coffer is better. We can otter stuff. We also have rivers coming down. That's really nice, actually. Do we need the coffer? I think we'll go like this. Villager in the coffer with river seems pretty good. Hopefully there's no way for jonts to quad. Well, and this is so much draw in hand. The old double wind when you're drawn deck. Classic boons. It probably would. I mean, this game looks a lot different if I don't find the cobblers twice, for sure. So I was gonna like complain about John's opening, which I'm still not a huge fan of, but like for sure, like me drawing the cobblers was massive. I think this probably can't miss triple. Already seen 8 of these. I don't really have the pixies anymore, right? I have one. I was gonna say, I don't know if like priest makes sense as a money thing, because it could potentially make the hideout that I will play, and then I have the pixie that I'll play. Does Jonts have a priest? Still? He must. I don't know if... I mean, gaining priest is pretty non-committal anyways, because it can be ordered. Now, whether it gives you more outs than like maybe a hideout, I'm not sure. I probably won't need the villages. Triple here will be like winning anyway. Because it's not like Jonts can draw all that stuff. I guess it can also just empty the bandit camps, which is a little less money. I don't know if I have 4 buys actually, but I guess I don't actually have 4 buys because I trashed the silk. But triple will win, right? I mean, I can also just see if I get the pixie boons. Will 3 provinces win? That puts me at 36. Then Jonts would need 22. Yeah, that'll surely win. Because 20, yeah, that doesn't work. You need $30. No, you need $33. I'm pretty sure I keep... Well, we can use 1 villager now. There are 4 cards in here. What am I gonna hide out? I mean, ideally it would be the cobbler. Actually don't know my money situation very well. Oh, there's another pixie, okay. All right. Well, this will just do. This will just do bandit camps. Okay. I mean, I would have been fine anyway, but Baker, the opening fives are not super exciting. Gains here are kind of terrible. Gains here are a little bit awful. I mean, it's camel train stuff, but you're kind of. There is. A wild hunt thing. Sauna Silver is actually not good here. I'm just gonna do it because I mean, the other option is Money Lender. I just kind of like it. I like it a little better with the Baker token. You can get your 5 on this on the shuffle most likely anyway. I don't know that I would even hate someone just like, oh, I'm gonna do Camel Train right now. I'm not sure I would even hate that. So I'm gonna take a lab here, and then a Camel Train on my next. There's also Salty Earth, which means that I'm not sure what it means, but it seems likely it means something. Bazaar seems fine. I mean, we're gain limited by them. This is either double wild hunt or just double sauna. I mean, there's something to be said for getting the trashing done, which would encourage saunas a little bit. Though also just adding draw would also help with that. So I'm not totally sure. I just don't really want the estates the whole game. It seems pretty likely that animal fare will be worth buy eventually. I'm not gonna double sauna again. I could get 2 camel trains. I could just get 1 camel train. A little less aggressive. This no estate trashy that shuffle is sad, but just the way it goes. I guess jonts is going to take sauna. Whether I find like a bazaar or lab off here is going to be kind of a big deal. This is still not super nice. I don't have 5. Why did I not hit 5? We can take 2 heralds, though they're not the best. Well, they're okay. Alright, alright. Okay. Oh, it's a bazaar. Well, I should have left that. That's okay though. We just take triple wild hunt. Really only need to have $5. To be honest. I wish I had left the position. Well, I mean, I probably will be okay, but I don't know how we're gonna play around the animal fair stuff. I guess I could have bought a camel train. I guess this is sort of just what I deserve for drawing the bazaar. I mean, that's fair. It was sad, but fair. I wonder if here I should have stopped. Well, there was still a chance of drawing the bazaar. I mean, I could have stopped and gotten Animal Fair. That was possible. Just... Okay, I guess jonts also has a pretty bad draw. My plan is to take the wild hunts, even though it's gonna leave me pretty bad. I guess I could just exile them, not have them in deck. There's still a bazaar. Well, again, there's a bazaar down here. Here, I think I'm gonna take a few points. Oh no, there's not even a bazaar. Well, whatever. Does jonts have any exile? No. So I have, there's 7 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So jonts has 3 in deck right now. I mean, this is awkward. Oh. Wonder if he'll let me undo playing. I just need to play one sauna. This is pretty scary. I guess I could still leave them. I could go with 4 to 3 wild hunt. Which is... This is insane, actually, to try and do it this way. Maybe I should have exiled an Animal Fair instead of the bazaar. I'm gonna have to get an Animal Fair here. Jonts probably will beat me. Sort of have a stupid deck. I just kind of messed up the exile stuff. Unfortunately. Probably if I draw last turn, it's okay. I mean, it's... I don't know. There was a chance for me to score some there. Kind of wish I had a Herald instead of a Bazaar set aside here. Not that the Heralds have been betraying me, but pile-wise, I think it's a little nicer. I guess you can really push like salt stuff with Animal Fare. A little bit nice for that. He doesn't add gains here, which maybe he was not playing some of them anyway. This has been repeatedly quite sad. Probably quite deserved, but quite sad. This is... there's a Herald in there. I can lower stuff to 3, right? And then I have maybe pile outs. I draw. Because I can exile things and then I can up the... Maybe Jonts has enough buys if he draws. I don't know, he had to score too, so... So my advantage here is that I can double my Animal Fare buys potentially before I play some of them. I mean, with Herald it's going to be a little wonky, but I can exile 3 Animal Fares or 3 Bazaars. I mean, it would be the Bazaars because Animal Fares are easy to get if you have buys. And maybe Jonts wins just if Jonts draws. He may have enough to empty Bazaars and Animal Fares. It only takes... doesn't take that much. So like you do have to get points. This may just be one for Jonts. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know how many animal fairs they have exactly, but or like if they have actions left to trash the animal fair. The wild hunt, well, they could take those points and then they'd still have to buy province. They may have. I'm gonna guess it's in hand, without knowing specifically, because they still have another herald, I believe. You can. I mean, if you're going for win, then you wild hunt for points. They still have two. You wild hunt for points, you exile Bazaar, I think. Maybe you just exile twice. Exile Bazaar. And then maybe maybe you can only do the tie. I guess it's only the tie. You can exile 2 bazaars. You can buy province, buy bazaar, buy 3 animal fairs, because you still have herald, a wild hunt. So you only need 20 bucks exact, right? 7.5, because you can do 2 of them. So there is a tie. He's probably just looking for a win. He probably knows about the tie. If I'm right about what's in hand. But there may be 2 wild hunts in hand, so then you could do. You're still gain limited, is the issue. So even if you can, yeah, he needs another action is his problem. I mean, an action. So I believe it's just a tie, but there is a tie. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, obviously I did the terminal thing and got bit for it, but I did have just pretty abysmal luck with the heralds. Well, I had one herald turn that was very lucky, or quite good, and then I had a couple sad ones. Obviously that one turn deck tracking, I could have left a bazaar on top. That would have made a big difference. But so I kind of made this loss. I don't believe there's a win, but I imagine Jonts has found the tie and is just kind of looking for a win. Unless I'm confused and there is somehow a win, but I could also be wrong about what he has in hand as far as whether there's a tie. But he's certainly entitled to check as much as he wants, because I was so slow that one game. So he's playing for a win. Which he may get. Well, I would need a pretty bad draw, I think. I could get it. So the question is, how do I go for it? I think it's do the bazaars. Yeah, that leaves me a lot of money. I didn't actually count this out. How much money is this? This is 12, 15, 17. This may not work. I'm like a buck short, aren't I? Maybe jonts counted it and there wasn't a pile out. This is 12, 14, 15. I mean, what would a win look like even? Maybe I'll undo these. Oh, unfortunately, now I've opened up this for jonts. I wonder if there was a pile out with not doing the first camel train exile. 7, like this costs 14. I mean, I got all the actions I could get. If I had exiled Animal Fair instead, it still wouldn't have worked. I don't think. 713. Maybe jonts dudded. I don't know. I don't even have 15 or 16. That's pretty bad. I could do some conquesting, I suppose. That's not that good, but Yeah, that's pretty bad on my part. Maybe Jones just played it real smart. I guess I should have bought a copper. What did I have on my last turn? Was it still just a pretty bad turn? Yeah. If I hadn't trashed the copper, actually, I would have... Well, I still wouldn't have win. Because I have to play... Okay, so this is a bit funky. I mean, I have to play for a complete dud. The estate empty doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. It just doesn't work. I don't believe. We could get 6 gains. Yeah, it's just not there. I'm actions too. So I have to play first a dud. Because otherwise he's just fine. I can't even score that much. Like I could score, I can score a little on the conquests, but maybe there was. Now I'm second guessing myself. If I had taken all the estates, no, there's no way it would get a 3 pile. So I can score 1, 3, 5, 9 points. I don't think this is the play even. Why did I think that was more than that? Oh yeah, the first silver doesn't score. I don't know. This isn't... I'd have to look at my turn again. If I hadn't trashed the copper, then maybe there was something. 18 would have been okay. Province. Yeah, 18 would have been okay. I was just repeatedly miscounting the money. Which is sort of annoying. It's a big Herald hit. Probably game winning. He's probably just checking if it's in hand rather than drawing more cards. You'd have to look way ahead to... Anyways, this is like bizarre. You just buy a salt something or whatever. You just... I could have bought an estate, but that wouldn't matter. He could have bought a duchy. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all later.